If you really want to know how to work magic, how I work my magic, it's by not working it, but riding it. Your magic is already at work, always, in any and every moment. Your magic is nothing more than the iteration of your truth, the iteration of the truth that is you, because everything is this. It's just that you do not necessarily know the truth about you, especially at the etheric level, the highly complex level. The etheric level of you and the greater field cannot be calculated by you. It cannot be understood with the mind, only felt with the intuition, the emotions, as it is experienced. The foundational truths can be understood by the mind because they are so simple, undeniable, so forceful. While the foundational truth of you provides the force of you, the absolute and unbreakable insistence on your existence, the complex truth of you provides the mysterious, magical expression and experience of that existence. So the magical expression of your life force is naturally emergent from your life force, and therefore in agreement with the forceful truth of you. The mystery of you cancels down to, reduces down to, I am. And there is nothing less than this for it ever to reduce down to. So the I am that we reduce down to is the eternal I am. The true magician rides their own magic, the magic that is at work and flowing there all the time, regardless of whether one is conscious of it or not. But the conscious magician sees it there working. They feel it and look to ride it with as much grace and artistry as they may. Just as the surfer's wave does pretty much all of the work for the surfer, so too does our magic do pretty much all of the work for us, beyond us simply paying attention, seeing the movement of the wave and responding with conscious choices that become more skillful with practice. A magician's job is not to turn the wave into something better, something more desirable. It is not to tell the wave where to go and what to do, but only to accept and make the most of the wave as it is in this moment. We are, all of us, magic wielders. We wield our magic via our choices. Of course we do, consciously or unconsciously. No exceptions, no exemptions. We develop our own styles and techniques, come up with our own rituals and practices, again, whether consciously or not. One can, of course, seek guidance from others, and there is always good guidance to be had. But always remember to check that the source of your guidance is reliable and can be trusted. Here are 3 warning signs that the esoteric teachings of your choice are deceitful, broken. 3 questions to ask. 1. Does it promise you access to secret truths? 2. Does it require initiation for access to truth. 3. Do those that have been initiated hold power, authority over those that have not? Understand this about truths that are secret. We do not keep truth from our children, not if we are coherent parents. The only initiation our child must go through in order to be granted access to truth is to ask for it. Truth never designed itself to be kept secret, because truth is the only thing that is ever happening anywhere, before our eyes, behind our eyes, and over the horizon and far away. Yes, we do have our rites of passage, but these are the natural rites of passage of experiencing and then consolidating one's own travail through the truth of one's own continuing life. Learning to walk and talk are fundamental rites of passage for the human. They do not require the administration of initiated authority figures. They just require the guardianship and mentoring of loving parents who already know how to walk and talk. This is coherency. This is sanity. In giving it to each other, we gain it for ourselves. What so-called black magic users have had hidden from them is that you wield your magical power over your eternity, not anybody else's, with every choice you make. So it has always been, so it always will, so it is. If you choose self-hate, then that is what your eternity will model itself on, by your own command, until you choose something else. This is how magically powerful we are, and it can only be so. We do it, self-hate, to learn it, then we stop doing it. If you are one who is still doing it, you just haven't learnt it yet. You are forever, and that's the thing you have no choice about, no matter how magically powerful you may know yourself to be. And your forever is yours. If you sincerely believe you wish your forever to be an object of self-loathing, then you just haven't found out yet that you do not wish that. That is the last thing you wish for. But sometimes one cannot be told by others. One can only discover it for oneself. You are the chooser. You are the decider of the future. Your eternal future. The only one you will ever know. All of us in this world here are in need of healing. Deep, deep healing. And black magic users are in need of that deep healing more than most. If you are a black magic practitioner and you do not believe you hate yourself, then that is probably where you need to start. Blaming your woes on others, seeking vengeance, or simply wishing to see others suffer for your own personal gratification? You've really got some heavy catching up to do when it comes to knowing what the fuck is going on. Have you ever seen a dog in pain bite anybody who comes close enough because it can't bite its own pain away? That's essentially what black magic users are doing. They are seeking to transfer their pain and torment to others. And despite whatever short-term anecdotes, it will not work. And they have all eternity to have that dawn on them. And I tell you, the sooner the better. As far as you are concerned, the sooner the better. But I know, liars can struggle to believe anybody else. Nobody hates on others who does not first and foremost hate on their own self, whether consciously or unconsciously. And when you hate on yourself, you hate on your most loving eternal friend. You need to champion yourself, your poor self-abused ego, your sense of personal self, because it is ego you that brings you everything good ever. There would be no possibility of anything good for you, not without your beautiful and faithful ego self, who goes through it all and feels it all so that you may experience and feel it all. Your ego gives you everything, and it gives it forever. And the same is true, of course, for those you cast your curses and death spells at. Apart from the unstoppable force of existing that you literally are, the force of truth utterly incapable of stopping being true, over which you have zero choice, your only magical power of any kind ever is choice. So, how shall you wield your tremendous power well? To wield your power well, you must wield it consciously. And this means you pay attention. Yes, pay attention to what has been and what may be, certainly. This is helpful. But mostly, you pay attention to what is. Because here is where you make your choices. The choices of the past have already been made, and the choices of the future are yet to be made. Once you are paying attention, then choose as best you may. Next, you pay attention again. You pay attention to the results, the consequences of your choices. Are they what you had hoped they would be? Are they disappointing? Are they even better than you had hoped for? Then, in light of that reflection, you choose again. This is what coherent magicians do. It is all they do. And we are all magicians. Experience your failures, experience your successes. Enjoy them both as much as you may. As somebody once wisely said, no feeling is final. We have a great deal of choice over what we think and then do. We do not have direct choice over what we feel, but we have indirect influence on our emotions via what we choose to think and do about our emotions and about the consequences of our choices. Our emotions tell us so much. They give us huge amounts of incredibly valuable information when we are paying enough attention to receive that information. Paying attention to the interplay between choice of thought and action. And remember, the words you speak are actions taken. And the emotions that result from those choices is essential to coherency. And the paying of that attention is a choice. Do you realize how often people do not pay that attention? How often do you not pay that attention to the interplay between your choices and their consequences? You are a magician, consciously or not, and a limitlessly powerful one at that. Whether you are a particularly skillful and insightful magician, well, that's a question for you to look into.